WOLED, QD OLED, WOLED, QD OLED, WOLED, QD OLED. Which OLED should you buy? Welcome back to another tech and gaming reviews video here, talking about the differences between QD OLED versus WOLED and which one should you buy. Now, we just finished our video talking about the LG B4 and the LG C4 and why that it is better to get the LG B4 that is actually $300 cheaper from the C4, and I actually thought it was $200, but no, it's apparently $300. So WOLED is like, it's still going to give you a nice pretty picture and still wonderful picture quality and awesome clarity, and especially when it comes to gaming, you're still going to get a nice gaming experience, especially even with LG's OLEDs that are mostly WOLEDs. Now, the G4 is a different story, as even though it is still a WOLED, there is some upgrades that it does have compared to the B4 and the C4, but in reality, I still honestly would say that even the Samsung S90D QD OLED is honestly still worth saving the like $600, $700, or $800, however much that it is cheaper from the G4, even though the G4 has been getting a lot, however, I'm going to tell you, praises as positive reviews. Like the G4, and from looking at it, watching YouTube videos, and I did see it at Best Buy's store the other day when, like we were saying on our previous video, the G4 was a good bit upgraded from the C4 and especially the B4. So the G4 is also awesome. But here's where things get a little bit interesting. All right. So you got a better option that's going to be somewhat better, and then maybe some other areas not quite as better, like brightness or something, however, but it can get pretty darn close. The Samsung S90D can actually get it could actually get pretty bright. Now, the G4 is, however, going to be brighter due to LG's AMOLED technology that is considered micro lens array, and that's what that stands for. And that actually helps boost brightness on LG's G series OLEDs, and that began last year in the G3, and the G4 does, however, have a bit of a better upgrade than the G3. Like, it is awesome. I'll just put it that way. But the Samsung S90D and then even the S95D, which I think the S95D is about the same price as the G4, I would personally still get that one, the S95D, if you are not on a budget and you are trying to pick between the LG G4 and the Samsung S95D. I would still say you're better off to get the S95D because it's going to be just as bright and you're going to get better colors, better HDR highlights than what the G4 has, even though the G4 is still pretty good overall. But this is just a discussion between WOLED versus QD OLED, and I still think that QD OLED is the way to go. Like, even if you want to go for a WOLED, like I stated on the previous video, you're going to still get a beautiful picture and still going to have nice, beautiful colors and all that. It's just going to look a bit of a more natural type of picture, whereas if you get a QD OLED, you're going to get a much more like future-proof, like brighter, colorful, just all along those lines. And I still think that QD OLEDs are the way to go. Even if you are a gamer, especially, gaming is definitely the number one area to why you should get a QD OLED. Now, we got Samsung, like we mentioned, from 2022, the S95B, and we also have last year's 2023 S90C, and we was going to get another one of that, but we had to cancel it because of the fact that it was on sale, and then we tried to reorder it, and it was actually sold out, like I was mentioning, and yeah, we couldn't get a new order for the S90C for its nice discounted price. That was $500 cheaper than what we were originally having, but that was also nice that we did not have the TV delivered because we could have canceled it at any time. So that's actually what made us decide to get the B4, and then we'll get the S90D after we finish the B4. But yeah, WOLED versus QD OLED. While WOLED is going to still, like I said, look pretty, give you nice colors and nice picture quality, you really just can't deny a QD OLED with its nice, better brightness, punchy colors, and honestly, I just think that's what most people should go. But that's just personal preference, honestly, because I still love the WOLEDs, I still love my LG C1, and I love our C3, but our QD OLED Samsungs are definitely just overall better in terms of HDR, brightness, and especially, colors and all that, and to an extent, slightly better clarity. And honestly, yeah, just QD OLED is just going to give you that nice pop that you could never, ever imagine. And honestly, that's what I think you should honestly go for, is a QD OLED. So, QD OLED's advantages over WOLED is better colors, better brightness, better HDR highlights, and slightly better clarity. Those are the advantages with a QD OLED versus a WOLED. Now, WOLED, this is some area that I have seen people mention that QD OLEDs do tend to have maybe just a slightly higher chance of getting burn-in due to the brightness of it. But in reality, if you are somebody that watches different types of content, plays different games, countless of different games, I should say, and you're not playing the same game or watching the same TV show 8-7 hours in every other day or something, or up on a daily basis, then you won't have to worry about burn-in even on a nice brighter QD OLED or even LG's G4 micro lens array type of TV that gives you better brightness. You won't have to worry about burn-in as long as you don't have static elements that's running on the screen nonstop throughout the days, every single day of the week, or even better yet, every other day of the week. You're going to be pretty much okay, and your TV will last a long time, I should say, probably within 5 years, if not longer. So you won't have to worry about buying a new TV. But yeah, if you're somebody that definitely does have the news channel and you're running it 80% of a day here and there or whatever, or every other day or every day, however, then an OLED just in general is probably not the best TV for you. You're probably going to be better off to get a Sony full array or even a TCL Hisense or Samsung mini LED TV, because that's not going to give you burn-in, because those aren't organic light-emitting diodes that OLED is basically known for. So if you watch static elements a lot and leave them on 90% of the time, an OLED is definitely not the TV for you. But if you watch the news, but you're always constantly watching different stuff, or you're a gamer and you're constantly playing different games, even if you play the same game a couple days here and there for a few hours to almost an entire day, and then you switch it up and play something else like that, you most likely are going to be okay with an OLED, as long as you're changing it up and it's not days upon weeks of either playing the same game or two upon hours, because that's definitely what creates burn-in, is having the same static elements pop up on the screen and stay there for a long period of time, and that's what creates burn-in. As it stays there for a long period of time, it starts to get so hot down there where that static element is above, or I should say the news channel, that you get the little menu down below. If you leave that on for a long period of time, it just really starts to get the TV, it starts getting hot right down there. So as it gets hot and hotter, then it starts staying on there like it got melted into the screen. And that's what burn-in is. So as long as you don't have static elements that you're running nonstop and you're playing countless of different movies, TV shows, games, an OLED is definitely going to be the best choice for you. But if you're somebody that watches like I said, static elements up on a daily basis, weekly basis, and you leave the TV on that channel for like up on 6 hours every day to more, then yeah, an OLED is definitely not going to be the TV for you. Even though OLEDs over the last couple of years have been getting less and less of burn-in issues, like OLEDs are getting better to help protect from burn-in. Even though they're getting better, you can still get a good slightly chance of some burn-in if you leave static elements on the screen. But like I said, if you play different games, different content, watch different stuff all the time, guess what? An OLED is definitely going to be the best for you because you're not stressing the TV out. You're got all kinds of different stuff to help keep it alive. That's just the reality of OLEDs. But even though that's not the video what we're discussing about. So yeah, if you are somebody that was choosing between a WOLED LG or Sony or a QD OLED Samsung or Sony, I would definitely pick Samsung, or even the most expensive one of Sony being the A95L, even though I don't really think that it's worth that much of a price point compared to Samsung getting really similar performance that's costing almost like twice as less price, or twice amount lower price point, I should say. Like, yeah, you can get a Samsung QD OLED for like 50% of the price, if not even probably less than that. So yeah, I would recommend getting a Samsung QD OLED like the S90D. Or if you want to get the expensive S95D, guess what? It's still going to be cheaper than the Sony A95L by like $700, $800, $900. And that one is definitely going to be really, really insanely superior, the S95D. So, yeah, if I was a betting man and I had to choose between a WOLED and a QD OLED after I seen them side by side from knowing them, I definitely would pick a QD OLED over a WOLED any day of the week because I love the nice brightness, I love that nice punchy color, and I love the nice HDR highlights that video games really do pop in that just makes the games honestly pretty and honestly more fun to enjoy because you're getting that nice pop. That's definitely what makes a gamer's life insanely impressive. Like getting that nice pop, like for something like a game like The Witcher 3, getting HDR highlights that do bring out the colors. Yeah, it definitely helps make people enjoy video games a lot. So, yeah, I would definitely pick a QD OLED rather than a WOLED if I had to choose between one or the other. So, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed this video of us discussing about WOLED and QD OLED between the brands of LG, Samsung, and Sony. If you like this type of content, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to this channel, and we will keep you posted with more content like this going forward, including our LG B4 review, and later on in the future, even a few months after that, with the S90D review that we're going to have for you. Let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Let us know in the comment section down below if you're somebody that picks a LG WOLED or if you pick a Samsung QD OLED, and which one do you like the most, and which one did you pick, and how happy are you with whatever TV you bought, even if it is an LG C3 or a Samsung S95B or a Samsung S90C or even the LG C4. So just let us know on how your WOLED or your QD OLED that you choose, and how's your experience with it, or if this helped you decide on picking between the two. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you later in the next video. Peace.